Hey, Scott here from whattype.com, and part of my gig is that people come to me when they have a hard time definitively nailing down their type. Some people struggle with this for years, going back and forth, kind of seeing themselves from different perspectives and struggling to get a definitive answer and get clarity in their own minds on their type. And I find that there are three main reasons from my perspective why this happens. So I thought I would address those in this video. So the number one reason why it's so difficult to nail down your type is because it's like water to a fish. It's very difficult to get any perspective on our own mental processes. It's like, how does a fish know that it's wet? It really can't unless it gets outside of the water. So that's the challenge. Because we don't have that perspective, it's easy to kind of see ourselves in different lights, and to be able to look at different type descriptions and say, yeah, I can kind of see how I'm kind of like that, or I can see, how I'm kind of like that. So it's difficult to get that clarity without perspective. Number two, everyone thinks they can help you. Everyone thinks they know what your type is. So you find this if you post on, forums, or if you ask people, friends who are also into type. This is a classic psychological trap called the Dunning-Kruger effect that's at play here. I fell prey to this as bad as anyone when I first started getting into type. Now, this is when you don't have enough information to realize that you are not actually competent at something. So it feels like you just get it. So, when I first started, I remember just, to see different examples of people of the same type, and then I think, boom, okay, got it. And it just felt like, wow, I can just do this. Well, that's an illusion, and pretty much everyone falls prey to that. In order to actually get good at this, and I'll probably make a video on this soon, you have to earn it. You have to find out that you're wrong 1,000 times, and it keeps pulling you deeper down the rabbit hole and closer to the truth when you learn that you're wrong. It's very easy if you're just casually interested, or even if you're sincerely interested, but you don't have good guidance and good training. You're gonna think that you know things that you don't. So you'll find this if you post, if you were to shoot a video of yourself and say, hey, I need some help, what's my type? You're gonna get a lot of different answers, and a lot of them are gonna have a lot of conviction behind them. This is why you see people arguing about people's type in Facebook groups and forums. They'll argue adamantly, but they're conflicting, and very few people can come to any kind of a consensus. It's because very, very few people have actually gone through the process to become competent. And then number three, descriptions of types that you'll find are not really designed. They're not written by profilers to help you figure out what your type is. They are more written to help people imagine a picture, a coherent picture of a type, so that they can digest it and understand it. If you were to write a type description that was, the absolute truth about a type, it would be extremely long and complicated, and essentially it's an impossible task. So really what you're going to do if you're writing a type description is you're going to write about things that people can see and verify. But the problem is that Myers-Briggs isn't actually about behavior. It's really just a cognitive structure. And using these different structures, each type has its own cognitive structure. There can be myriad different manifestations in the world of behavior. There are so many factors that come into play. The culture that you were born into, birth order, sex, a million different things. So when you're looking at type descriptions, a lot of things won't fit. And there are also things that are romanticized. That one common thing is that, some people who are INFJs struggle to come to this conclusion on themselves or struggle to get clarity on it because they'll read things like, about INFJs being psychic. And I've had a number of people say, well, I don't think I can be an INFJ because I don't feel psychic at all. So don't put too much stock, if you're trying to figure out your own type, don't put too much stock in behavior when it comes to understanding what a type is all about. If you would like help figuring out your type, you can book a Skype session with me by going to whattype.com/mytype. And I'm going to be taking students soon. So if you're interested in becoming a personality profiler, you can go to whattype.com/lessons. Cheers.